You know, for a minute, I thought that MWC was going to be just a shadow of what we've seen in previous years. CES was really just a fraction of a show, and that was with far more categories than just mobile-centric products. Now, to our surprise, MWC 2022 was pretty packed. Lots of attendance, lots of companies, and some pretty good products. This has always been one of my favorite trade shows, not just because of the fact that it's in Barcelona, but because it's probably the most organized and also where we get to see more technology that's focused on what should be in your pocket now. With Diego on camera, I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and these are our top picks for Best of MWC 2022. You know, I never thought that I'd ever award a charging technology, but the past 3 years have shifted to this sort of irony where there's one batch of companies removing chargers from their boxes and another that doesn't just bundle the bricks but continues to innovate in that space, which I feel benefits consumers more. Oppo's VOOC fast charging has pushed the standard for nearly 10 years, but their new SuperVOOC 150 is crazy fast. Their new 150 watt fast charging will use gallium nitride to safely take your 4500 milliamp hour battery from 0 to 100 in 15 minutes. We should expect the first phone powered by this to launch in a few months, so we're not just talking about a concept here. That right now should fall on SuperVOOC 240, which will charge the same battery in just 9 minutes, whenever that's ready for prime time. Best of all is the technology Oppo is building to ensure your battery is not affected by these same speeds, something other companies with far less charging speeds have yet to address. Let's just say Lenovo brought a lot of products to the show. I counted at least 9, and all with enough chops for an award. Now, that being said, I think the new ThinkPad X13s Gen 1 caught my eye the most. I've really wanted Windows on ARM to succeed. I've believed in the platform since its launch a few years ago, and it hasn't just matured a lot, but this new Snapdragon 8cx Gen 3 has proven to be quite powerful and efficient. Match this with a laptop that looks like business, and then provides design elements that's separated from standard ThinkPads, and I think it's a winner for anyone looking for a long-lasting productivity workhorse. I mean, you're getting 28 hours of battery life, which pretty much speaks for itself. I think Realme has done a pretty good job in following a success formula we got to see years ago with OnePlus, and yet with a more modern and targeted approach. It was only a matter of time before they jumped from premium mid-rangers to flagships with their new GT2 Pro. Yes, this isn't their first phone from the GT series or the first collaboration they've done with this Japanese designer. Still, this design really catches my eye, and particularly when you match it with all of its specifications, from the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 from Qualcomm to a display that has nothing to envy from any flagship or gaming phone, to a set of cameras that can really take advantage of this hardware. I think Realme actually built a pretty good phone here. And sure, the price is a bit higher than your typical Realme phone, but it's lower than any other phone we've seen this year with all that same power. It's actually a good thing to have another option or choice from Realme for those of you that want to get more. I think one of my favorite products for the past 2 years is Samsung's approach to laptops. It's come to a point where if a company wants to charge anything over $1,000, that computer better have something to differentiate it, and this Book 2 series does just that. At the trade show, we got to see the Book 2 Pro and the Book 2 Pro 360, but I incline more to the convertible because its 13-inch model is crazy thin and light. You get a gorgeous AMOLED panel up front, the power of the new 12th generation Intel processors, faster RAM and storage, all in a package you'll want to flip around and use as a Windows tablet thanks to Samsung's inclusion of the S Pen in the box. Match this with Samsung's software suite for it to blend with your Galaxy phone, and the value proposition is pretty good. Also, this laptop in burgundy is simply gorgeous. I'm really looking forward to actually taking them for a spin when review units are ready. You know, it was good to see Huawei at MWC. I mean, regardless of how things panned out in recent years, we can't deny their technology is pretty awesome. They launched a ton of products, but what caught my eye most was to see an updated MateBook E. This was one of my favorite products back in 2017, but wow. Now it's gone from good to great. It follows on the same 2-in-1 Windows 11 design, but now with a 12.6-inch OLED that supports the company's M Pencil. The bezel is nearly inexistent, and somehow it manages to carry a pretty good set of specs. Yes, still no 12th generation chips, but I still consider last year's iterations to be pretty good. For anyone that's looking for one product that can double as a content consumption beast that can then switch to becoming your only work machine, this MateBook E is now a much better product than it was before, and one that I'm looking forward to. Honor is another one of those cases where I was really happy to see them back at MWC. They just launched a pretty neat foldable last month, but for MWC it was all about the Magic 4 Pro. Usually the Magic series has been all about photography, and if the massive camera module on this phone is any indication, that's the case here too. We're talking about two massive 50 megapixel cameras matched with a third 64 megapixel periscopic telephoto, all in a package that's very pleasing to the eyes. And then once you add the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, lots of RAM and storage, plus a display that carries all the bells and whistles of a flagship that can even be turned into a gaming phone, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed. I know many debated the launch price, but once you try to match this phone to, say, an Ultra variant from any competitor, it doesn't look bad at all, and especially when you get Google Play services. Last but not least, there's TCL. I honestly had a hard time keeping up with all the products the company launched at once because CES was already pretty packed. That said, for MWC, what caught my eye the most was their Nextpaper Max 10. See, as much as I love tablets, I've never been a fan of their displays. I always feel a tablet should be this companion notepad, but a glass screen doesn't really feel like paper at all. This new TCL tablet achieves that by placing a pretty neat matte film on top of the display. It even makes the user interface look like paper and also makes the feel of a stylus input feel like if you're writing on paper. It might not be the most powerful tablet, but it's a pretty affordable package, and for anyone that's looking for a more cohesive replacement to a notepad, I think this might be it. To conclude, again, I'm just so happy to be back at MWC. It might not have been as full as other years, but listen, I am just happy that it's looking like a step in the right direction. Listen, the only way for trade shows to get back to normal is if we support them, and I am glad to be a part of that. Let us know what you think about our winners or our selections in the comments down below, and we'll be sure to link to our full article for more details. While you're at it, follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on my personal handles to see Diego and me cover trade shows like there's no tomorrow. And sadly, yeah, I did get sick with allergies. I apologize for that. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.